Hello and welcome to Atlas Teaching. My name is Megan and I have been an ESL teacher in China for the last 10 years. Today I want to share some ideas for making an ESL movie lesson plan. To be honest, if you open an ESL textbook, there is probably going to be a topic about movies. It's so common. And when I first started teaching, I really struggled coming up with different ideas for how to really make a movie lesson flow well and make it really interesting. So let me share 5 different activities that I love to do when I have a movie lesson. Maybe you could use all of these, or you can just pick the ones that will be best for your class. So number 1, the easiest thing to do is just ask students to share or introduce their favorite movie. You could have students divide up into partners or divide up into groups, or even ask students to come to the front of the room to share and introduce their favorite movie. If it's a lower level class, you can give them a few questions that will help them as they converse with their partner. Questions like, what's your favorite movie? How many times have you seen it? Why is it your favorite? This is a perfect warm-up or icebreaker activity as well. Most of the time, I will use this at the beginning of my movie lesson plan. Another thing you can do is you can ask students to summarize a movie. Now, in my years, I've found that students often struggle with longer conversations when they are speaking for a longer period of time and there's less back and forth. That means I've also noticed that a lot of students struggle with summarizing, but this can be a really valuable skill for them because they have to tell the story in an organized way, and they also have to be careful of their verb tenses throughout. Verb tenses are really difficult in English, and so having activities like this will help them practice in using the correct verb tense or keeping consistent with the same verb tense as they retell or summarize a story. A third thing you can do is one of my favorites, and this is what movie deserves an Oscar. This is such a fun activity. Ask students to divide up into partners or groups and then give them different categories for the Oscars. For example, maybe it's Best Actor or Best CGI or Best Story, and have students talk about what movie they think deserves an Oscar. This is really fun because it allows students to be a little bit creative, it allows them to express their opinions, and if you want, you can even have everyone vote on the Oscars at the very end as well. Depending on the size of the class, you can have people submit their nominations and then have everyone vote together on which movie truly deserves the Oscar for Best CGI or for Best Actress. Another thing you can do, number 4, is have an unlikely sequel. I can't take credit for this one. This is not my idea. I got this idea from CJ Reynolds of Real Rap with Reynolds here on YouTube. And the moment I heard it, I knew I wanted to try it in my next movie lesson. I tried it and the students had so much fun with it. So it's called an unlikely sequel. And you challenge the students to make a sequel for a movie that is a little bit strange. For example, Titanic 2. Now, everyone has seen the Titanic. We're familiar with the storyline, but challenge students to pair up or group up and discuss what a possible sequel for the movie could be. Maybe Jack didn't really die at the end, or maybe Rose falls in love with someone else in the sequel. This really pushes their creativity and it gives them the chance to tell a story using English. And the last one, number 5, that I really like to do is just have students act out a movie. Give students a scene and kind of let them go crazy. This is such a fun activity, and I found it's also very good in pushing students to speak in public. One of the biggest difficulties about learning a new language is having the confidence to stand in front of more than one person and speak. So having this acting activity can really be a lot of fun. Depending on the student's level, you could give them the script, give them the lines of a scene of a famous movie, and have them practice the scenes together before they act it out. Or you could have students create their own lines just from what they remember. Of course, you'll need to have higher level students and have a little bit more time for that. But that's a really fun way to bring a lot of life into your movies lesson. So these are just 5 ideas. If you want to use them in your next movie lesson, hopefully they would be really enjoyable. Number 1, just introduce a movie. Number 2, summarize a movie. Number 3, discuss which movies deserve Oscars. Number 4, create an unlikely sequel. And number 5, give them a scene of a movie to act out. If you have any questions, just leave a question in the comment box below. Subscribe to this channel for new videos. You can also check out atlasteachingesl.com for tons of more articles about different ideas about movie lessons, movie vocabulary, and things like that. That's all for today. I will see you next time.